Hi guys, welcome to Crazy Burger. In this video we're going to be playing through all 6 games coming on NEO GEO Arcade 1 in June on Evercade. So without further ado, let's get stuck into those games.
Metal Slug!
So first up we've got Metal Slug, and no doubt this is probably the game that most people will be aware of. I've played this in many different systems over the years on modern formats such as the Xbox 360, Nintendo Switch, even in the current Xbox and PlayStation. You'll probably find it somewhere here or there or on Steam, and it is an absolutely fantastic run and gun game. All action, rescue the sort of prisoners of war there and just destroy everything in your path. It is such a fun game to play, very easy to pick up. Anyone can basically pick this up and have a blast with it, literally. An excellent title, and it obviously had tons and tons of various remakes and sequels, and I'm pretty sure we'll see some of those appear on Evercade at some point. I'm absolutely delighted that we've finally got this game on Evercade. I guess we all had doubts whether we would even get carts, but happy to say we are going to get carts, and we'll probably get multiple carts at that. And yes, some of these games will appear on Super Pockets, and maybe there'll be something else coming along the lines as well. But anyway guys, first off, I'm delighted this is coming to Evercade. I am delighted also that it's not going to be a Metal Slug collection that a lot of people were expecting. Personally, I'd rather a little bit of a mixture of collections rather than all the same type of genre. You do get a bit fed up playing the same type of game. It's good to mix it up and get other types of games on here, like fighting games, sports games, and other types like that. First off, what a great start to this cart, Metal Slug, superb stuff. So next up we've got the King of Fighters 2000. I'm not entirely sure why Blaze have chosen this particular version. There are various different versions of King of Fighters going all the way back to 1994, and I'm pretty sure most people lost track of all the different games that was released, and I'm sure we might see some of them eventually appear on Evercade. Now, one of the things that definitely sticks out is the amount of fighters that you can actually choose from within this game. There are absolutely tons of them. It certainly reminded me of some of the later iterations of Tekken with the amount of characters to choose, which is definitely brilliant, and it opens up for a very wide and varied game to play. Now you get to choose, I think, a few different characters, and you can interchange between them throughout the actual stages, and some of them step in to help out, and obviously once you lose a life the next one steps in, that type of thing. So it's a bit like maybe Tekken Tag Tournament, that sort of thing, or some of the SNK Capcom games that were released. I have to say, this is probably one of the best fighting games I've played in quite some time, and I actually really enjoyed it. It might even be up there for one of the best fighters, one-on-one fighting games that we'll have on Evercade. I really enjoyed it. Certainly a far improvement from Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting. I find that game far too difficult and completely inaccessible and unenjoyable to play through. This is definitely a little bit easier, much more fun to play, and it is an absolute blast. There's so much to see and do, lots of different fighters and different sort of scenarios that you see here. Fantastic. I think it's brilliant. Really good. I certainly would like to know about the other versions of King of Fighters that are out there. I'm not an expert in these games at all, so if you let me know, is this the best version, or are there other versions that were better than this? I'm not entirely sure, but all I can say is this version 2000 is absolutely brilliant. So next up we've got Shock Troopers, and this one is clearly heavily inspired by the titles like Mercs, Commando, that type of thing, where you're basically trying to clear through the enemies, scroll up the screen, and even horizontally as well. Now if you played the recent Metal Dragon game that appeared on the Jewel cart, it's obviously like that. Obviously Metal Dragon is basically copying this game and obviously the other games I've just mentioned, but this game is far better than Metal Dragon and less cheesy, I guess, and it's obviously not stole too much from various other games like Metal Gear Solid. It's really enjoyable. It's not probably my favourite game on the collection. It does get a little bit frustrating. If you play games like Commando, you'll know what I mean. It does get a little bit samey, get a little bit difficult to play, but it's not bad. It certainly screams quality nonetheless. So next up we have Magician Lord, which is a fantasy sort of platform run and gun style game. Although this is probably my least favourite game from the collection that we've got here of the 6 games. This was the one I didn't enjoy playing as much as the other ones. Though it obviously still screams quality. SNK games are high quality, but this one is just overly frustrating and maybe just a little bit overly difficult to actually enjoy. Although if you like these type of things, you might get more out of it than me, but personally I really didn't enjoy the experience. Which kind of brings me to the dip switch scenario on Evercade. We've obviously seen a lot of updates recently with dip switches appearing for arcade games, just to make some games a little bit more accessible. Though sadly I don't think we'll see this at launch with the NEO GEO stuff. I think they do work a little bit differently to like the MAME arcade stuff that we already see on Evercade. It's a little bit like Capcom. There's probably a little bit more work required to make those sort of dip switches accessible to the games. Maybe we'll never see them, though overall I don't think we really need them for most of the games on this collection. This is probably the only one that I really was getting a little bit frustrated with. Nothing really wrong with it, it's just very frustrating and quite difficult to actually play through. So next up we got Sengoku, which is a scrolling beat 'em up, which seems to borrow a lot of different aspects from various different scrolling beat 'em ups. There's a lot of variety that you see here. You fight with your fists, you sometimes fight with swords and various different weapons. You can switch between different characters that come along to sort of help you. I thoroughly enjoyed playing this game. It's not one I'd actually played before, but I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Really enjoy it. I do like my scrolling beat 'em ups, and this one is real high quality, and certainly could be one of the best we'll see on Evercade. I thoroughly enjoyed playing it. I think it's absolutely excellent, and I'm kind of surprised I never actually played it before. So this is definitely one of the highlights of this collection for me, along with Metal Slug and probably the next game coming up. Now this could well be the true gem on this collection. This is Ironclad, which was released on the NEO GEO CD in Japan only. Never made it to North America, but if you actually put this CD into a North American NEO GEO, it would come up with the name Ironclad. Obviously in Japan it was released under a very different name, which I'm not even going to try and pronounce. But this one is very high quality. Obviously it's a scrolling shoot 'em up, which I don't normally like, but I thoroughly enjoyed playing this one. I enjoyed the graphics, the gameplay. I like the little addition with the little helper you've got attached to your ship, which you can control with one of the buttons back and forth, which was a little bit different, I guess. Obviously it screams a little bit like R-Type type of thing, but I really enjoyed playing this game. I think it was a lot of fun, and as I said, it's not one of those games that appears in many different places. I think if you want to try and pick this one up physically, it would probably cost you an absolute arm and a leg. It would cost you a bomb to actually purchase. Although, interestingly enough, I did see it on GOG platform the other day for about £1.50 in digital format. That is, it normally retails digitally for about £6 or £7, but physically, don't even think about it. You're not going to get this cheap at all. I have to say, I really enjoyed playing this. Arguably could be the best game on this collection, although there's other few games that are certainly vying for that title as well. Again, another high quality game on SNK Neo Geo Arcade 1. So my final thoughts on Neo Geo Arcade 1 for Evercade. I think it's one of those carts you really have to rush out and buy. It's fantastic. There was only really one game that I didn't enjoy as much, and that was Magician Lord. The rest are absolutely brilliant, fun to play. Excellent high quality arcade games from Neo Geo, which are just brilliant. I think this cart is going to go down a storm, so don't hesitate, get your pre-orders in there, especially if you've got an alpha machine. This is going to be brilliant on there. It would probably play better utilising that sort of control method on these games. It's not perfect for all of them, I guess, but there's some of the games that was definitely designed with a joystick in mind. But overall, what a great collection, and it's brilliant that we finally have SNK Neo Geo stuff coming to Evercade, especially in cart form, that we were all a little bit worried wasn't actually going to happen. Certainly the first of many Neo Geo carts coming to Evercade, and I'm looking forward to what is going to come next. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.